Okay, what I'm going to do is made a preset for Daz Studio, and I'm going to show you how to use that. Okay, so when you open, you'll be greeted with something like this. Okay, so I've got my preset file. If you download the file from the website, you'll be greeted with these three files here. It's as simple as dragging and dropping that there. Boom. This is shaped exactly, almost exactly like the SMMB body. So now what I'll do is show you how to adapt an outfit to it. So this is a Genesis 8 body. This was made for Genesis 2, it looks like. And to oh, I didn't want to do that. Smart content. It should already be installed. Yeah. Genesis 2 male. Okay, so to adapt it to the body, drag and drop it. It was made for Genesis 2 male. Don't mess with that. It'll adapt it to the body pretty well. Okay, so do that with the shirt now. It's made for Genesis 2 male. It'll adapt. There it is. Tunic. Same thing. The boots. And this. Now this is the cool part, because that's going to form right to my hands there. If you're watching that, that was what it made for. Boom. So I am 2 for 2. Now with the new Daz, what you can do is I don't want to export everything, but as you can see, that's how the preset works. That's how you get it to fit. So if I select that glove and I select that glove and I go to export, let's export it to the desktop, and we'll just name it gloves. Okay, so the export settings, they would usually be 3D Max. The only thing that I have to change from shotgun settings in the new Daz is filter options. What that'll do is that'll export only the things that you selected. Otherwise, it'll export the entire scene. So you can export it piece for piece. I just keep selected roots, don't include the parent, just that's all you're checking. 3ds Max, filter objects, that's it. Accept. Now with the textures, to get the textures, we would go to Figure, Geometry, Texture Atlas. And this is gonna hopefully give us our texture for both the gloves. Whoops. Hit auto arrange. I do think it only did one. No, I don't want to commit to the figures. I want to preview. I don't know if it did both. It did. That's one. No, it only did one. Okay, so this is one of the things that can't be exported, both pieces. So we'll select that glove. First off, let me minimize this and get rid of that. Close this down. Open Daz. So we got this glove. Okay. I'm going to export to an OBJ. And we're going to do right underscore glove to desktop. And same thing. Just hit 3ds Max and then filter objects. That's it. You can save this preset. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So now we have that. We will go here. Figure, geometry, texture atlas. So give us our preview size. See how it's going to look. Again, that's awesome. So we'll go right underscore glove. Oh well, you know what I mean. And we're going to go to the desktop. We're going to make a new folder. And we'll put glove text. And we'll just save it there. I'm going to export it as PNG file. It's a higher quality in 2K, and it's going to try to make all these. So we'll see what we get. Okay, so that's that. Yeah. Okay, so here we have our files. Boom. Alright, now we open 3ds Max. I use 2015. I have the NIF plugin, so I always export to NIF. If you have 2020, you know how to export to OBJ through Shock Insight. He's got plenty of videos. Also, your 3ds Max will probably never open as quick as mine, so never think about it. Okay, so first things first. When exporting from Daz, there's always flippage on the faces. This is your OBJ import settings for this. I'll go ahead and hold off a second, but you want import as a single mesh, editable poly, retriangulate, center pivots, texture coordinates, smoothing groups, import from file and normals. Unique wire color, you do not want materials, don't need them. And over here, I've managed to pinpoint almost the object scale to 73. So you're going to want to set your object scale to 73. And we'll import that. Now, the reason why I say 73 is because if we import the shaken mods body slide file for the body shape, and that's just, these are the import settings I use for NIFs. Well, for this NIF in particular, not, you know, nothing crazy, just whatever. As you can see, it fits perfectly. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll import the hand. Okay, now you can see that's pretty close, so I like it. It works. very well. The bone weighting should work well. Everything should work well. So now what I'll do is here, we are gonna preserve our UVs. Make sure it's editable poly. Select your polygons. Control A to select them all. Flip. And that's just flipping all the faces. So the face and all textures show up right. Am I live? Yeah. Now, what I do is, okay, yeah. Control A with all the vertexes. We're gonna weld our vertexes, and we're gonna weld them at 0.001. Okay, we'll try 0.01 and see if it changes any. That'll work. 0.01. Sometimes I use 0.001 because the meshes get screwed up, so it works either way. So now, since I have that selected, we will go export selected to desktop, and we'll do, first I'll do the NIF, glove right NIF. These are my settings for exporting this. I'll mess with it after. 9 nodes important, scene root is important. You really don't want anything here. You set that all up after. I don't mess with anything here. Just this is what I use, and it works. So that's the desktop now, and now we'll export it. Selected as an OBJ. If I could find it. Yeah. Just gotta keep naming it differently. So, oh, that's a good one. Okay, so we don't want that. We want this to polygons. We want all this. We're going to keep it scale. We don't want this. We don't want that. We don't need those. And we're going to keep all that. We don't need a log. So those are the settings that you want right there. For an OBJ. That's the desktop. So now we'll minimize here. Okay, so that was our Daz export. And this is 3ds exported. 3ds exported. I'll pop that open here. You can see it doesn't have textures yet, but I'll get there in a second. We're going to go ahead and load the hand and import our NIF from the desktop. And as you can see, guys, that's not bad at all. So now let me close 3ds and pop that. We don't need that. We need to do the textures. What's in my override? Nothing. I'm gonna dump all this in my override. Boom. Boom. There we go. And we'll rename that textures. So it gave us a bump, a diffuse, and a specular. Okay, so I'll show you how to make the actual files here. Because if we open that, that's just like a I want to say a normal map, the beginning of a normal map. You take that and convert it a bit. It's the actual texture. and this is supposed to show you the shine. So we're going to use this, we're going to use this, and we're going to use that. So now you need GIMP. I use GIMP. Shocking has a tutorial. I have a few tutorials of textures and PBR textures and things. Just going to grab these and open these as well. Did it work? No, it did. So we'll do it the hard way. I'm not going to load anything. There's no bitmaps yet. This one's easy. 32K. We don't need any touching up. We can just go File, Export As, and we'll do Show All Files here because I haven't done this yet. I haven't used GIMP on this new computer yet. Okay, so it's going to save it as a DDS file. You're going to want no compression for now. Just generate bitmaps, that's it. Export. Done. Okay, now this is the bump. This is what they use to make the normal maps. So let me do this. I'm going to make this an overlay. And then duplicate it. So we got 3 copies, starting with the top one. We're going to go filters, map, normal map, scale 1. That's it. Maps, normal map. This is on the second one here. I'm going to change the scale to 3. And the third one, change the scale to 6. The fourth one, change the scale to 9. Okay, and that's how you take a bump map, make it into a normal map. That's actually preferable. You want that. So now you want to merge visible layers, which will make it all back into a normal layer. Then you hit filters one more time, normal map, bring the size back to 1 and your conversion to normalize, and hit OK. Now, in order to put your specular into your normal to save room and also use the correct BS lighting shader property setup, what you're going to do is you are going to add a layer mask to this, white, full opacity. You are going to take your specular image, regardless of how you attained it. You're going to select all, edit, copy. You're going to go back to your normal map. You're going to make sure that you have this selected, and while selected you're going to Control V and it'll be a floating layer. Now you will click that, right click that. You are going to anchor that layer, right click it again, and you are going to apply the layer mask. So now visually you cannot see anything, but it is there. Your normal map will show up perfectly along with, and what we did there was we put that into your alpha channel. Okay, so if I mute that, put this all back, you can see our normal map is still there, but now we have our specula included into our normal. So we're going to export that as right glove underscore normal, and I'll show you how that works. Same thing, bitmap only, that's it. Export. Now we can shut down GIMP. Back to this, we will go here, properties. It doesn't even have a shader yet, so we'll put one. And we'll go, let me go in here and mess with this folder real quick. I'm gonna get rid of these. We only need those. See, you can see the normal now. If I open it in Paint, it doesn't even show in Paint, so. And it's quite large because we haven't converted it. But I'm gonna go new. I'm gonna go test. Put those in that folder. Now, this is your texture path. To get the name, you're gonna rename, highlight that, Control C. You can go up here. Don't forget to add your / Control V, and you highlight all this. Control C that. And you're back here into your textures. Control V, Control V. And your underscore N. Okay. Okay. Why ain't it showing? Or maybe because I just moved everything, that's why. Alright. So let me shut that. We'll reopen it. Import, load reference rather. And then we will import that NIF. And again, we'll go here, add the textures, Control V, Control V, underscore N. There you have it. And now I'll show you how the specular is working through the normal map. We'll put that up to 200, up to 20, I guess. I don't know. See if that does anything. I think I actually jacked that up by doing that. Now you can kind of see it in the wrist. You can see the specular a bit there. There's not a lot of specular because it's leather, so even in the texture there wasn't a lot. But I don't know, maybe we could try that. Lighting, textures should work. Anyway, you get it. So now what I would do with that is I would export that to a NIF. Just overwrite that one. So now what we got is this. Okay. We're gonna do this, double side it. And then it has a specular to it. Here's our stuff there. Specular color is, in fact, white. And we'll just jack that up to see if we can see any specular in there. That's new. Anyway, I think that's why, because that's all extra black. But it's still not going to show. There it is, a little bit. But anyway, I've done it with shiny armors and it works just the same. Not actually like that, like that. Makes it look like leather. Save that, close that down, open this back up, get rid of this. Oops. Boom. And we'll import that NIF. That looks much better now, and you can see the specular in it. So now if we go mess with that, see we get the glossiness there, 220. We'll put that down. Actually, I like that to like 0.2 for leathers. That's cool. We can do that. We can make that happen. I actually think it'd be easier to just move the vertices. Yeah, it's a little bit easier. It's decent. That looks great. And we can actually dig deep in there because it's so high poly. And this is how you would make basically a gauntlet. Push this in a little. Pretty good. Not bad. Okay, so got the hands in there. We got all the bones. What we do is copy the bone weights from the hand there. And then I want to actually get rid of some of the hand. So we're going to mask most of it. Don't need any of that. We don't want it X mirrored, so I'm gonna size down just a bit. There we go. So we can go invert mask, right click and delete vertices that are showing, and that'll leave us with a less polygonal piece here. Now we form the slider. And boom. That should give us the same thing and all that crap. I'm gonna save the project as, and it will be whatever you call it. I don't know. Doesn't matter, I'm not saving this. I'll do this outfit at a different time. But my preset works pretty freaking mint. I mean, that thing looks great. I could probably smooth it a bit over there. Stuff like that, but for the most part, that thing is mint. So, if you guys enjoy this, slap like. Download it from the website, check it out. Everything from start to finish is pretty much here, including texture conversion, everything. You got the Daz exported OBJ, then you got the 3ds exported OBJ that you'll bring into Body Slide and apply your textures after you've converted them. So there's a little bit of everything. If you got any questions, you can hit me up in Discord. You can message me, no problem. Alright. Again, you're gonna have some install instructions. You can just drag it and drop it into Daz. It'll work. But 2 viewers, appreciate you guys. 1 on Twitch and 1 on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Oh. I am the only one there. Okay. I'm gonna post a link to this video on the site near the mod. and start working on this. So trying to get it updated a little closer to the body shape, so it's exact. Be exact. It's perfect. Thank you guys for joining me. Check out the. Why do I have drop frames? My stream's running like shit. I'm gonna drop this, guys.